there for a year and taught men that they need to start washing their ass, wiping their ass, wearing cologne, making their bed. He literally got online and was like, "Men, y'all don't got y'all shit together. Y'all dirty, y'all bums, y'all don't clean underneath your fingernails." That's what he did. That's number one. That's one example. So ask well, you can't ask him.
Okay, but him saying
yeah, well, that's a bad example because he did that for the men that did not have fathers, specifically the men that were uneducated in terms of trying to appeal to women's attract women and appeal to their gender. He tried to teach people who have never had the experience of maybe being with a woman what the steps are. Because of their inexperience, not because these men are inherently bad.
Dude, makes no sense.
That's as dumb as that black hat you got.
So public defender. Let me ask you a question.
Why is it?
We're just gonna appeal to some guy who had a channel. Okay, okay, bro. As long as we can appeal to a guy who had a channel once, it's all good.
Black hat. You ain't even got an American flag or nothing. No, this is the black hat.
Why do I need to have an American flag on my hat?
Like, who are you?
I'm sorry, am I not stylish enough for you? Do I need the new Nikes to be stylish enough for you, sir? Like, what do I need to do? Yeah, okay. You tell me. Should I wear what? FUBUs? I don't know. What the fuck am I supposed to wear that will impress you?
Let's get Angry Man real quick, and I'll.
This guy's name is Fatty?
To make a point.
It's a good point.
It's
a good point.
Now, not one set. Yeah, it's raised.
Sarah can't stop laughing.
Andrew, don't do that.
It's not even race baiting. It's just pointing out.
It is a multi-piece.
Let me respond here for 1 second. Let me just respond so that you guys can understand the position. I'm using the extreme portion of the logic so that you'll understand how silly the position is. That this guy thinks men don't clean their ass because guy on internet who had channel who said they don't. I can make the same argument for anything on planet Earth, including saying black people are dumb because guy made channel that said that. Do you see how dumb that is? It's just dumb.
Let me ask a question.
Definitely great point.
Let me ask a question, public. 1 second. Let me ask a question.
No, you can't. You're not letting me respond to this, man.
Hey, public. 1 second. I got you. Okay, I pass you the microphone. I just want to ask a question. Andrew, you're totally right. If you were on a Viking channel, would you be talking about FUBU, or are you going out of your way to do like some black type of like statement so everybody understands? Like, that.
Yeah, I'm using the extreme point of the logic to demonstrate the point.
Yes. So
you would never accept the other direction.
I agree. I accept it. I already accepted. My question is, when was the last time you used the FUBU argument? Like, when was the last time you said FUBU? Actually.
Yeah, I would tailor the argument and the rhetoric towards the person that I'm talking to who's making the insults my way.
I don't even fucking wear FUBU.
Thank you very much.
Sorry when it came out, and it's still sorry. But I want to.
I didn't even know it was a real thing. Somebody had to tell me. I didn't even know it was real.
Hold on. I want to say something real quick to what he said. This is what I'm saying. When you talk to people that don't understand logic and they just use the word, it's hilarious to me. The logic here wouldn't be that he had a channel where he just said stuff. The logic would be the amount of men that gravitated towards his message, which would prove that there was a bunch of men out here with unclean asses.
I see. So to respond to this argument,
Andrew, be quiet. Listen.
Okay, but when are you going to stop talking so I can address the point?
It's the same thing if I were to say,
bro, the girls can't stop laughing.
I can't wait.
So let's use your racist white channel like that. You would probably run. Like,
oh, now Andrew Wilson's racist.
Like, black people are stupid, right?
I'll be waiting the rest of my life.
The logic would be
let him finish, please. Let him finish, please.
That were on that channel and they were watching it. I could logically assume that a bunch of white people are fucking racist.
Okay, so let me get this right. Let me respond now.
And then there was a page.
Okay, am I allowed to respond?
Millions of people that subscribed to the page that were white and were racist, and they liked the racist white.
Discriminated.
I don't know if he's ever going to let me respond here.
Can you guys let him finish, please?
Men have a hard time washing their
Can you guys let him finish, please, so y'all can respond, please? Because when you talk,
well, how long does it take him to finish, bro?
He's going to land the plane, and then you guys.
I thought his point was already made that Andrew Wilson is racist, so therefore. Because Andrew Wilson is racist, therefore he believes everyone that watches Andrew Wilson is racist. Isn't that his argument?
Like if we went on your shows, we wouldn't.
I don't know. Usually, a moderator makes a person make one point at a time. The other person responds to the point.
And you did a bunch of. You did 3 at the time.
No, I did 1 point. One.
No, he did.
1
1
point.
point.
And use every example, so he has right to actually give. 1
Yeah, I
point
got
to
his
every
point. Can I respond to it now?
Let him finish.
Okay, he's just going to say the same thing, but go ahead.
I'm done.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I wasn't going to say the same
Okay,
thing.
so yeah, this is super easy. So no, the logical entailment that you have is incorrect. If it was the case, indeed, that you said, oh, Kevin Samuels says men don't wash their asses and millions of men subscribe to it, therefore true, then that would mean if you had a channel that said black people are stupid, million men subscribe to it, ipso facto, that would also be true using your line of logic. By the way, I can demonstrate you don't know shit about logic. I'll do it really simple, and you'll never answer this question because you can't. If you know a single thing about logic, just tell me the 3 laws of logic. What are they?
Non-contradiction, excluded middle, and identity.
Huh?
You're
What are the 3 laws of logic? What are they? What are the 3 laws? You're muted, bro. What are the 3 laws of logic? Answer the question, please.
Oh, you were really expecting me to answer?
Yeah, because you can't. You can't. You don't know anything about logic. Just sit there.
Like, that's not really a hard... I mean, it is pretty hard dunk. Like, I wouldn't ever trust anything this guy said after that. Like, maybe he doesn't even... If he doesn't even know the laws of logic, like, maybe he doesn't know anything.
Like, this thing is this. Law of non-contradiction is like that can absolutely like an apple can't be an orange, right? And then
It is... It's surface level Aristotle. It's not that necessary for the debate, but it does attack his, you know, genuineness. Like, is he an actual proficient debater? If he can't even define the 3 laws of logic, I mean, that means he's very inexperienced in debate. At least we can infer that.
Naming the 3 laws of logic, like for you, for an example, when you aren't logical.
Because you're based...
Like,
because you're creating... Yeah, I'll explain why.
Hold on.
Does he not see the contract? How can you say I'm illogical when you can't even name the laws of logic? Like, how do you even know that I'm illogical then? That's a contradiction that's happened.
Knowing the concept, right, of something and being able to exhibit it is more important than understanding or just being able to regurgitate it.
I actually agree.
So you just say, I know, but you don't follow that though, because you're not logical.
Okay, so let's...
Because what you just said didn't refute what I was saying.
It did.
You just changed, you just pivoted and you moved it to something else.
No, I was testing the consistency.
Hold on. I'll tell you again, one more time.
Okay.
Slow it down for you.
I'll slow it down.
The logic is, the point that I was making was that men don't wipe their asses.
Uh-huh.
And he said, well, how do you know that?
Right.
And I said, because there was a channel that was created where a man was teaching men that they need to wipe their ass.
Great.
That was not the sum total of his channel.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
This idea that because somebody made a channel, inherently men cannot rub their ass. Like, come on. He's talking to, like, men that haven't lived a good, inexperienced males. Like, he's not talking to all males.
Be dads, and lots of people subscribe to it. Would that make it true? Would that literally make it true because lots and lots of people subscribe to it?
That's a different
It's the same shit, bro. It's the same exact logical entailment. Here, I'll explain how. Hang on, bro. Let me explain how. When you say X, right, you're talking about an X and an entailment of Y. So for you, X is man go to channel. If there's millions of subscribers, therefore X must be true. Men, therefore, must need to know how to wipe their asses, because otherwise, why would a guy be around to teach him how to? Got it. Makes total sense. But the same fucking thing would apply if you had a channel that said, I think black people dumb, right, and a bunch of people subscribed to it and said, oh, yeah, that's true. Then it must also be, it's the same fucking logic. It's an entailment of X. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know logic. I don't know logic.
You just repeated the definition.
Hey, public, you are wrong. You are wrong because of public. You are wrong because of
I
this, right?
appreciate that.
No, but you are wrong because of this. Let me explain to you. All right. For example, first of all, Kevin Samuels is an image consultant. He has to talk about those shits. That's the first one. Like, this is literally his job to talk about hygiene, how men groom themselves, how men dress, and all that. And the second part,
it's not my mic or my fault.
Shira 7 kept
on my
talking
volume
about
versus
woman hygiene
theirs.
too. That doesn't mean that women
These
are
guys
dirty.
have really
Shira 7
shitty
is one of
mics,
these
dude.
women
They have
that
shitty
everybody
mics.
watches. And for you, I'm not ever going to say most women are dirty, because there was a woman on the internet tell women how many times they should change their tampon per week and how they should
I'll turn my mic down
wear.
a little bit, though.
But, like I'll
try to make my mic as shitty as theirs.
I wouldn't do that. So like the same way that doesn't prove that men are dirty. I don't think Shira 7 giving women how to actually take care of their hygiene, that doesn't make them dirty either. So what is your point exactly? Like, why are you saying that?
Because what you just said is made. I don't watch Share 7 that much. I don't know how much you do.
So why you fighting me or information you don't have?
I've never heard her say that, so I can't.
Because you literally said I don't watch it that much. Why are you fighting me information that you don't have?
There you go. I turned mine down a little bit.
How are you starting your message saying no? Public. How are you starting your message saying this? I don't follow her or don't watch her content like that, but I never saw her doing that. If I don't watch the Power Rangers, I don't know the color of them because I don't watch them. Why are you refuting that? Just accept it.
I didn't refute it. I literally just said I was about to say I can't argue against what she said in that instance because I never saw her say it. That's what I was saying.
Is the average man dirty?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's a little more equal now.
Is the average woman dirty?
No.
Have you ever walk in the end of a shift and smell
by this logic, there are countless YouTube channels that say black women are the worst women on the planet. By your logic, public defender, that would mean black women are the worst women on the planet.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
You and Andrew both are saying the same stupid thing. My point would be if I were trying to prove that a bunch of black men or men,
they both agree with each other, so they became stupid.
there was a bunch of black.
Everyone is wrong but me.
What you just said to be true about black women, and you said, "Why do you think that?" And I said, "Well, there's a bunch of channels on here that talk crazy about black women, which there are, and a bunch of black men subscribe to those channels. Therefore, I can conclude that that black men believe what's happening on these channels." Right?
What?
Many black men, many people have come to this conclusion because of those same channels.
Let me respond to him real quick.
Let me get. One second, friend. One second. Let me get angry man in Carl, please.
Let me respond. Let me respond to what he's saying real quick. So basically, what your line of logic is, what your line of logic is that if Kevin Samuels does a channel where he's telling men they need to wipe their ass because that men, the group he's targeting, subscribes, that means that they don't know how to wipe their ass. But like I said, by that same logic, the channels that talk about black women like that have black women that subscribe to those channels as well. So are you saying that the black women that subscribe to those channels believe themselves to be raggedy women?
Yes, and that happens. But it's not an absolute. Logically, there's no absolution. There's not like every black woman doesn't think the same. So obviously there are some self-hating black women, like there's some self-hating black men.
Bro, here's the thing. If a guy makes a channel about working on cars, just because he specifically talks about fixing a transmission that day doesn't mean that everybody that subscribed has a broken transmission. What you're saying isn't logical, bro. It's not.
That wasn't logical. That's why y'all need to stop practicing analogies on these lives. Because what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That was dumb as fuck. That's not what
they're equivalent analogies.
One-to-one.
It's absolutely the same thing.
It's not a one-to-one, bro.
I think what public offender's trying to say is that if there's a market out there for a particular talking piece, then people tend to flock to it. It's not that he's not saying. I don't think it's agreeable to say that men don't know how to wipe their ass.
But does it prove the talking piece?
I don't think it proves it. What I'm saying is if there's a market out there for that, that's where they flock. It doesn't mean that it means men don't know how to wipe their asses. And why are we still talking about this?
I don't know. Because
I can tell you why.
Wait. The whole reason we're talking about this. The whole reason we're talking about this.
They asked me to prove it, and I just gave them an example. How the fuck do you prove that men don't wipe their ass though? That's what I'm saying. It's stupid to begin with.
Like, then why would you make the statement then?
Wait, this is what happened. What happened was Fatty asked me a question about the bare minimum for a good woman. The moment I said cooking and cleaning, You got triggered, public defender. That's why you had to talk about black men not being able to wipe their men in general not being able to wipe their ass because you got offended by the freaking point of them needing to cook and clean. Because what I was gonna say after that, before you interrupted me, was no, there isn't a lot of women out here nowadays that cook and clean or want to cook and clean.
So the whole reason why black has entered the conversation is because there's a racist on the panel.
Who?
He did not bring up black. Public did not bring up black. Black was brought up by Andrew.
So?
Right? The word black was not brought
So that means Andrew's racist?
How would that prove that I was racist?
It stated that men.
Yeah.
But you're going to skirt over that part and bring up an example about black women in a conversation that is not about
I didn't bring up black women.
I'm not talking to you, dude. I've already said I'm not talking to you. I'm speaking to Angry Man.
Oh.
So anyways, that is
just
the whole
referencing me.
reason why that has entered the conversation. So don't tell him that's not what he said.
I would disagree. The reason black came up in the conversation is because he brought up Kevin Samuels. A large portion of his demographic is black men. That's another reason it was brought up. You brought up Kevin Samuels.
No. You see, it was only brought up because Andrew's an evil racist because he said the word black.
No.
IDK, that's pretty much what happened.
Every man brought up black women because he hates black women.
He did bring up black women.
I brought up black women.
Y'all can't wait to talk.
No, I didn't bring up black women.
I brought up black women. Bro, check this out. I brought up black women as an example, okay? Mark Lamont.
So she was wrong. He never brought up black women, which was the only reason that he was racist.
Hill already got that job, bro. Fall back.
Got what job?
The job you're trying to do right now.
I think the racism commentary is particularly directed from Pretty to Andrew because he utilized the argument back to public offender, I believe it was, regarding, if there was a channel that all black people are stupid, then XYZ, right? And he wasn't saying that from the beatings of his heart. He was saying that as a logical example in an argument to kick back as something that's very far and extreme.
He was giving an example on how this example of Kevin Samuels doesn't follow logically, because then I could just say, oh, I watched this in a YouTube video, therefore it's true. This girl took it and ran with it, and she's like, oh, these are his words, he's racist?
I can't be racist.
Holy moly, women have lower IQ than I ever could imagine.
I have a black ex-wife.
Hold on real quick. And if we're gonna make hold on, I haven't spoke yet. And if we're gonna go to that extreme, then you should have addressed public offender for being a sexist, for saying that men don't wipe their ass. Pretty intellectual. If we're gonna be consistent, if we're gonna talk about racist,
oh, they're gonna call her out? This is fresh
conversation because we have a racist on
no, we're making it. We have no. Hold on. Everybody on this panel. Hold on.
Who's the racist?
Everybody.
Am I the racist, Pretty?
Hold on, real quick.
Is it me? Were you talking about me?
Andrew, please, please. We let the show go on as long as possible in this state, right? Let's get back on the topic. Let's not make it racist. Let's not make it sexist. Let's not make it misogynist, all these things. Let's have a discussion. If you agree.
Her name is the Pretty Intellectual. What a great point, IDK. Can you believe she calls herself an intellectual?
Agree and disagree.
And she's definitely not pretty either.
Let's stand it on that. Like provoke.
She failed on both ends.
Prove your arguments and let's stay there.
You didn't know about my bastard children who were out there?
Lady Chen.
Little Tyrone Wilson.
Tyrone
Wilson. Tyrone Wilson. That's fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen him in 26 years.
Of his hygiene. And after that, we go to the woman. Go ahead, Lady Chen. What do you think?
Tyrone Wilson. That's hilarious.
I would assume so.
You would assume that the average man is doesn't know how to take care of his hygiene.
No, I would assume that he's clean. So, yeah.
What about the average woman? Do you agree? Like with angry men,
what regards in clean? Like being in just grooming?
No, they know how to take care of their hygiene because that was public offender statement saying that they don't even know how to wipe their ass. Do you think?
I mean, I don't care what the Lady Chan has to say. This guy definitely doesn't have an argument. His whole premise is that, oh, Kevin Samuels had to teach men to wipe their asses, therefore men can't even wipe their asses. Look, man, there are some men that thought they are wiping their ass, but they're wiping it wrong. Some men did need a little bit more guidance on that. Some men maybe don't need any guidance on that at all. But it's such a bad way to show that you're an intellectual person that knows how to debate when you use an example like that. When your example, why I am right, because some random dude said so once on the internet, you miss me with that, baby. Miss me with that. You were supposed to provide evidence saying 50% of all men walk around smelling a little bit more disgusting, and according to statistic, it's because they don't know how to wipe their booties, or they leave a little bit of crumbs or whatever it is. And I agree. By the way, I agree with you. Most men in America do not know how to wipe their booties. They literally use toilet paper. Like, might as well use sandpaper. They don't use any water. There are some men that are smarter. They use like wipes, wet wipes. At least these people are actually clean. But yeah, I agree with you. Men in general do not know how to clean their booties, but it's not because Kevin Samuels said so. It's because the statistics show that 70 to 80% of all men leave fucking disgusting crumbs on their underwear. And they're despicable, disgusting people that when you ask them, what do you do? It turns out they only put a toilet paper on between them and their shit. Humans actually wash it with water. So I do agree with the guy that men do not know how to wipe their booty, but not because Kevin Samuel said so. It's because there's statistics to show that, and I can provide them.